AITA for cussing at a lady at the park? I, 14M, recently took my sister, 4F, to a park close to my house. She was pretty excited to go because her dad bought her a bicycle and she wanted to try it out. When we arrived, there was a lady with her 2 sons and a daughter. I made eye contact with the lady and just smiled and waved at her to be nice. After 15 minutes or so, my sister was playing on the swings because she got scared and didn't want to ride the bicycle anymore. I looked away for a second to say hello to my uncle since he lives close to us and he was passing by, and when I turned my head around to check on my sister, I saw she was crying and the lady's sons were using my sister's bike. I approached the kids and politely asked them to please leave the bike alone and use theirs. The 3 kids had brought their own bikes. They ignored me and continued to play with the bike. I decided to go up to the lady and ask her if she could talk to her sons. She responded with, "My kids are having fun and yours isn't using the bike, so I don't see a problem." I then responded with, "I'm aware that she isn't using it. But it's her bike and your kids have their bikes, so I don't see a reason for them to use hers." She then started going on about how I have no reason to talk to her like that if I was going around getting girls pregnant, insinuating that my sister was my daughter. At this point I was pissed and didn't want to deal with this lady, so I angrily said, "Lady, she's my sister. And I believe I have the right to talk considering I'm not being a little bitch. So I'm going to ask again. Are you going to tell your little rats to get off my sister's bike or not?" She then got up and told her kids to get in the car. Later, when I got home, I told my mom about it thinking she would see it as a funny story. Boy, was I wrong. She started going on about how I was so rude to that lady and that I need to learn to respect my elders. Am I the asshole? NTA, as a mum of a 14 meters and 4F, if you were my kids I'd be how proud of you regardless if you swore or not. The way I read, you didn't call her a bitch and you held your own. It's that adult who should be embarrassed of the way she responded and let her children behave. NTA at all. And your mother is wrong. And you can just go ahead and tell her that some old man on the internet told you so. 2. That should settle it for her. I totally disagree with everyone who said it was partly your fault. I think you handled it splendidly. You were perfectly polite and reasonable when you first approached Crazy Lady. And the first time she was rude to you, you were again polite and reasonable. When she started yapping at you about being your sister's baby daddy, she crossed the line. And you were well within your rights. And within reasonable boundaries. To let her have it. Why are you supposed to still be respectful to her? Screw her. She didn't earn any respect. Good for you. If you were my son and you came home and told me that story, I'd have loaded you into the car and taken you to your favorite fast food place to pig out. NTA. Okay. Then hand over your car keys. You're clearly not using it as you're playing with your kids right now. I'll bring it right back when I'm done. NTA. Good for you. Adults are not always right. And feel free to call them out and stick up for your little sister when she is being bullied. Carry on being a good sport by being better parent than that lady when you're older. And even better than your mom, so you only bring good kids into the world. Well done. Those kids had no business on your sister's bike. You asked the kids to get off your sister's bike. They didn't. You asked the lady to get her kids off your sister's bike. She ignored you. And the lady went off acting like the morality police. She had no business even if she was right. And she was wrong. Showing a little attitude was called for in this instance. NTA. NTA, your mom has a really weird way to reacting to these things. NTA respect is a two-way street and she clearly didn't respect you. You did the right thing and your sister will remember that. Info. Are you from a culture where elders are entitled to respect? E.g. Korean. NTA either way. That woman clearly wants to teach her boys how to bully and take what isn't theirs. Great parenting. NTA. You sound like a good big brother. NTA. A plus for not spitting in the lady's face. NTA. Your mom needs a reality check, I'm afraid. Absolutely NTA. You were respectful until you were disrespected. NTA. Honestly, I would have just yanked the bike out from under the kid and told the mother to put a leash on her animals. NTA. The lady is the asshole and your mom should learn to stick up for you as you were protecting your little sister. Being an adult worthy of respect means not breeding bullies. This lady at the park made excuses for her kids stealing and bullying your sister. If your mom thinks that lady is worthy of respect, then she is respecting her behavior, which is horrible. You asserted your rights and corrected the lady's dumb-ass assumptions. You did the right thing. NTA. You were polite and respectful until she wasn't. If she wanted to be treated with kindness, she should have treated you kindly. Like you, I always start respectfully, but regardless of age, people get the exact amount of respect from me that they give. If they don't like it, then they should work on themselves. This lady was extremely disrespectful and straight up rude to you and your little sister. In my opinion, you were way nicer than you needed. I would have threatened to call the cops on her for theft. Kids are kids, but she was letting them take something that wasn't theirs. That teaches them that's okay and it's really not. NTA. You did the right thing by protecting your sister's belongings from 3 random kids. It is her bike. If the other kids had damaged it playing, would their mom repair it? Probably not. Also, I think it's wrong forcing children to share things and letting other kids use them. If a child want to let other kids play with her stuff, cool. If she is uncomfortable with it, forcing the child to share is wrong and will probably raise an adult that has trouble standing her ground and say no. As for respecting the elders, respect is something to be earned. Being civil is the default with strangers. She disrespected you and your sister by ignoring your request to get the bicycle back. You merely answered in a tone she could understand. NTA. The audacity of some people is unbelievable. You asked politely. She refused. So your rudeness was warranted following her rude and incorrect assumption because she wasn't going to listen to niceties. It's not their bike to decide if or when to use. NTA. You did good. Who TF just straight up uses someone else's bike? Especially if you have your own? NTA. I wouldn't have approached the mother. I would have grabbed the bike by the handlebars and told the kids in a firm voice to get off. And for future reference, don't tell your mom. NTA. Just because you're older doesn't mean you deserve respect. Especially if you're an A.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.